Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing with Colourpop's collab with Star Wars The Mandalorian. I'm actually extremely excited about this, and I would not have known about it if someone didn't tell me, so thank you, and thank you for looking out for me. I do appreciate it. Box is like 3D, it's so nice, I love it, it's great packaging. I think especially for those of you who love The Mandalorian, who love Star Wars, who love things like this packaging, I will not throw it away. I know myself, I won't throw it away. I will keep it. So it's a really good collector's item, and all the items in the back, like they're raised and foiled, like you can kind of see. So nicely done. Then you have inside the palette. So this is the outside of the palette. So that was just the box. This is the palette, and here is the color story. Oh, so freaking cute. Let's just talk about Colourpop for a second. I have been following Colourpop since they launched their Super Shock shadows, and I was like, what the hell is this? Very different type of shadows. They were like kind of spongy and soft, and they all came in these little, I don't have one right now with me, but have like these little cases. And I didn't know what to expect, but they were like $5. I was like, okay. So I bought a few, and I fell in love with them instantly. Oh my gosh, their formulation is nothing like what the market had at that point in time. Now, of course, you've got a lot of dupes, you've got a lot of options, but I mean, I still come crawling back to Colourpop because I think that they have great stuff. As you can see, I have my pop figures here. This is my Mandalorian. Let's see, you guys can see up close instead of not seeing them. Are they not freaking adorable? I know. They're freaking adorable. And then I also have this one. I have to show you guys. I'm sorry. These are freaking adorable. And they're in the background, so you can see them, but you can't see them. Those are there today to keep me company. Anyways, guys, let's get into this palette. I think I'm going to start off with the transition shade, so I'm going to go with the lighter shade, and it's this one right here, and that one is called Just Like a Tatooine. So cute! I love it. I love it. Have you guys been loving this weather? Today has been overcasty and like sprinkles and like 60 something degrees. It's so perfect. I've been waiting for this weather for so long, and I think a lot of us have. Just waiting for this colder weather to hit, and for so long in California it was just hot and hot and hot. Wait, when are we gonna get some fall weather? And finally, it just went from hot to freaking cold. I don't know what that's about, but very interesting. Maybe for the crease right below my transition shade, I'm going to go ahead and try this light green colored shadow in the pan. It's called Babyface. So it looks like this right here. I'm just going to lightly put that right in my crease. Okay, so since it's a light green, it's not showing up really well against the transition shade, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. I think it's much more of a brighter, lighter green. So I'm gonna go in with this darker green here called Float Your Crib. Float Your Crib right there. That is Float Your Crib. So I'm gonna do that in my crease instead. He's floating in his crib. You can't tell me these things aren't cute when they're absolutely freaking adorable. I'm going to go in with a more precise brush this time and kind of get right above my crease right here. So I'm going to do multiple shades. I'm going to do as many shades as I can with this palette. I'm going to also try to do something a little more, I don't know. You know, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just going. We're just going. Okay, so that kind of helps define my crease, and we're just gonna go in with the next shade so it can kind of come together a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a dark brown. This chocolate brown looks so pretty. It is called Droid Protocol, and I'm gonna go in with that shade right on the outer V. So I'm going to go in with my other brush that I used to blend out the green, and I'm going to blend between the green and the brown. That brown is so freaking pretty. It's like this chocolatey, fudgy, it's a very rich color. I absolutely love it. So now we're going to go in with some shimmers, and I know for a fact, because I read it and I saw that this particular shade right here, the lightest shade in the palette, it is called Precious Cargo. That one is a super shock shadow. So I don't want to put that right in the middle of my lid, because if I do that, I think my lid will just be like coming at you all kinds of crazy. The contrast will be severe. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go in with the darker. So I'm going to go darker to lighter, I think is what I'm going to do. For now, I'm going to go ahead and use this green shade right here. It's a little bit of the darker shimmer shade, and that one is called Sipping Soup. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right where I put that chocolate, but like not right there at the edge, but just in front of it, right here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take the Force, which is this gold shade right here, and I'm going to pop that right in the center of my eye. Okay, so I want that middle shade to be just a little more intense than the payoff that it's giving me right now. I'm going to go ahead and wet it with some MAC Fix Plus, and then go back into the shade. So after packing that gold on, I lost a little bit of that green. I'm going to go back in with that green, and I'm going to re-intensify that color. And that is called Sipping Soup. I touched up that green on the outer edge of the gold, and I'm going to go in with Right Hand Mando, and that is this shade right here. That's a kind of like a light green color, so that'll be, it should look pretty nice on my inner corner. That's where I'm going to put it. So far, I am loving all of these shades. I've been wanting to play with this palette since it came out, and I'm just glad I have my hands on it. And I really do like all of the shades so far. Besides the gold shade that had some fallout, I still really like the color. So now what I'm going to do is to make this transition, because I have 3 different shimmers on my eye, I'm going to go back in with those same colors and make sure that the edges are blurred. So now I'm going to go into that fudgy chocolate shade again, and I'm going to intensify the edges, just kind of because I lost some of that shadow, so I'm gonna retouch that part up as well. Ooh, a little goes a long way. So I'm gonna go back in with the mossy green shade called Float Your Crib, and it's this shade right here. It's the one I was using originally on my eye, and I'm going to intensify that crease color. Now now I'm going to go in with this Super Shock shadow, which is the Precious Cargo, and that is the lightest shade in the palette, so it's this one right here. That iridescent, and I'm going to go ahead and put that right in the corners, and hopefully it'll give me the effect that I'm looking for. In the midst of blending and applying and blending, you lose some of that shadow, so you just have to repack it back on. And as long as you blend it, as long as you go back in with the same color and get the effect that you're wanting to get. Okay, so far I'm happy with it. I have to be honest though. So the only color in the palette that I'm actually having an issue with is the Force, and that is that gold color there. Still beautiful. I used my brush first, and then I didn't get the intensity I wanted, so then I wet my brush thinking that that would just bring it forward, which it did, but it created a ton of fallout. Usually when you use MAC Fix Plus, it eliminates fallout, but this still had fallout. Nothing like I had with the Huda Beauty palette that I reviewed just the other day, but I did have some fallout. I did also use my finger, which when I go in there, it's really soft. Anyways, it's really soft. It's just not performing as well as I thought it was going to perform. But that's okay. That's not a loss. It's one shade. And it works. It's fine. I just, you know what? Let's just give this little guy a break. Look at, how can you be mean to that face? I can't. It's fine. I'm working with it. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to move on to my face, my brows, and then I'll be back. I don't even know what that was, but I'm gonna be back. Okay, I'm back and my brows are filled and I have my eyeliner on. So I'm going to go ahead and just fluff my eyebrows with this Brow Boss Gel by Colourpop. Never used it before, so this will be my first time. See how it applies. Ooh, it's really white. Okay, let's just, ooh. Okay, that put my brows actually right up to attention. They're very feathery and they look pretty nice, actually. I'm pretty impressed with this. So hopefully, as I wear it, it doesn't flake off and get all that white residue on it. Like, you know when you put gel in your hair? Remember those days when we used to put like freaking depth hair gel in our hair? I don't know if you guys remember, but I clearly remember like it was yesterday. And anyways, at the end of the day, you know, your hair would be flaking all this white stuff and everybody be like, you got some stuff going on, and you're just like, it's my gel, it's fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to the face. I'm gonna just kind of quickly do this because I'm just reviewing really the palette, so I'm gonna go ahead and just show you what I'm using, put it on my face, and then keep going. Okay, so I went ahead and put my lashes on and I finished off my face, but the highlight, I kind of want to go back into the palette for this highlight. I want to go in with this light green shade, Right Hand Mando, and I want to put it down as a highlight just at the tips of my cheeks. I already highlighted, but I just want to, just right here, just a little bit to kind of tie in the look. I'm going to dip my brush in there and just going to lightly brush it on. So to complete this look, I'm going to go ahead and smoke out my lower lash line, as I always do. But I'm going to go ahead and take that fudge, that dark fudge shade here, and I'm going to put that right at the edge of my lash line. Okay, and I'm going to blend it out with, I'm going to go in with this dark green. I haven't used this other dark green shade. It's not as dark as the one we used earlier, but, so this is the dark green shade we went in with earlier. This is the green shade I'm going to go in to smoke out my lash line. It's called Little Frog. So cute. Because he eats the little frogs to survive. And because I didn't get to really use that light shade earlier called Babyface, I'm going to use that to smoke out the rest of this half of my inner corner, just to see what it looks like. Why not? I want to use all the colors. I'm going to use that Super Shock shadow, really light one, and I'm going to try to just bring that highlight a little bit in. It's a little bit in on my lower lash line. Okay, so since there's no really highlighter that I want to use that's in the palette, because either it's just too bright or too green, I'm going to go ahead and hit the top of my brow bone, just because this look is pretty heavy, with my Milani highlighter, which is what I originally used for my highlight on my face. And because it's not super like boom, I'm just going to go ahead and use it right, hit it right under here. Then, since I have that highlight, I'm going to go ahead and blend it with that transition shade I went in with earlier. Just going to go ahead and just blend it. So I'm going to go in with this Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Face Mist. Got to prime it first so that you know what you're in for. Looks like a nice mist, so we're just going to go in. That face mist feels so good. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to go in with my NYX lip pencil and line my lips real quick. Then I'm going to go in with this Luxe Gloss by Colourpop. So this is the gloss Playa Vista, and it looks like that. I'm going to put it right over my lip liner. I love glosses that have a little tint to it. Okay guys, this is the finished look. This is the look I created using the Colourpop collaboration with the Mandalorian. I actually love the palette itself. All the colors are gorgeous. They are beautiful. I'm going to show you again right here. The matte colors are nice. And I've used every single shadow in this palette on my eye today, which was my goal, and I did it. And I liked all of the colors in the palette. They all blended out really, really nicely. The shimmers were perfect as usual, except for the gold shade. So the gold shade was my only downfall, was my only issue, and that was the one that had a lot of fallout. It was a little bit on the chunkier side, but I mean, like I said, I have to forgive it because he's so cute. And I am excited to have this in my collection. If you use the gold shade with your finger and you go ahead and you apply it with probably some glitter glue, I think it'll come out perfectly and you won't have as many issues. But yeah, that was the only shade that gave me trouble. Oh, and I'm using the Iconic Lights by House of Lashes. This is the box here. And I absolutely love the Iconic Lights. The Iconics, those were a little bit on the ridiculous side for me. Like it'd just be my whole eye. But the lights, they look so much nicer. I think it really pulled this look together, and I'll probably be using them again very soon. Possibly in my next video, because I like them so much. I really tried to use all the shades in the palette so that I can give you my feedback on all the shades and how well they perform. Super Shock Shadow performs a little differently than all the other shadows though. So you can't just kind of get in there with a brush and apply it. You actually have to, well, it's better to use your finger and then apply it versus trying to get a brush like I did, but that's how I had to apply it because I couldn't get my badass finger in my inner corner. So you gotta work with what you got. Have you guys watched the new Mandalorian season 2? I'm waiting for a few more episodes to come out, and then I'm gonna watch it. And I want to watch the first season again so that when I get caught up to the second season, like I'm bouncing like a little girl because I'm excited. So I'm gonna watch season 1 again just so I can remember what happened, which I do remember what happened, but I just want a refresher. And then that way it goes seamless into season 2. I'm very excited actually about it. So let me know if you guys watch The Mandalorian. Let me know what your thoughts are on this collaboration with Colourpop. I know they have a lot of collabs, but I do believe that they try to cater to everyone's liking. And I'm actually going to be doing another Colourpop video soon. I can't wait. I just love Colourpop, and it's so exciting. It's just so exciting to me. Alright guys, that wraps up this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for future notifications. I will see you soon in my video next week. Bye.
Colourpop collaboration with the Mandalorian. Oh, really? I can't read these goddamn names. So that just on the tips and tops of the tippity top. This is stupid. Cannot find jack or shit. I'm not going into setting this. You know what? I'm extracting all of that.